Hey, what's going on, you guys? My name is Jordan.
And I'm Juanita.
And this is Love Does Cost a Thing.
It costs everything, baby.
Man, shout out to all of the love bugs. Who knows what week this is? If this is your first time here, join the Love Bug community.
Yes.
By hitting the subscribe button below.
Yes.
If this is your first time, again, you've got like some episodes to catch up. So go ahead and catch up. Have a little watch party. Send all this information to your friends. You see the title, y'all. Today, we're talking about exactly what you should do when someone crosses one of your relationship's boundaries.
Yeah.
Big shout out to the official sponsor of the Love Does Cost a Thing podcast, Unashamed Apparel. Grab your gear today at shopunashamed.com and use the code LDCAT for 10% off your entire order.
Yes.
Whether it be friends, whether it be family, whether it be an ex, whether it be your child's spouse, Lord Jesus, your child's spouse. I guess that's later on if y'all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I'm talking about your child's parent, other parent.
Right. So like if you're co-parenting.
Yeah, if you're
right.
co-parenting.
Yeah.
Why was I struggling to get that out? Y'all pray for me. Okay.
Pregnancy brain.
Wow, that's crazy. We 36 weeks. Well, you 36 weeks.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Excuse me. Yeah. So we officially on baby watch?
Yeah. All
right. Well, let's get into today's episode. Juanita, you already know you got the hot seat first, man. How do you want to get into this? How does one navigate? Let's say I'm going to set the stage. This is your best friend, your sandbox. Mm-hmm. Y'all done been together since elementary school, mm-hmm. middle school, high school. They know your mama, they know your daddy, mm-hmm. whatever. Y'all done been together all this time. You got a boo now, mm-hmm. right? And he or she just won't get the hint. She thinks she is, or he thinks he's the one, or is in between y'all. Y'all, all three of y'all in the relationship together. Mm-hmm.
So I think that's very common, more common than people like to admit. You think so? I do. Because if you think about it, people typically have best friends prior to like getting into like a seriously committed relationship, because mm-hmm. that's a committed relationship, mm-hmm. right? Prior to like romantic relationships. And so I would say it's probably a problem because your spouse brought it up, or maybe you recognize that you're having a hard time navigating like being there for your friend and being there for your spouse. Yeah. I think it's important to acknowledge too, like what phase you guys are in. Like if you just started dating this person, like your best friend can still be like your best friend, like how they've been being, because like you're just kind of getting to know this person. But if you guys are like, hey, this is serious, like we're like a month away from getting engaged, we're planning to get married, and you guys are really trying to establish like who you are as like a couple and eventually like a married couple, I think that just having that conversation with your friend could be very important.
Who's responsible for initiating that conversation?
I would say you are. The person that has the friend. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I don't think we need, well, I already know what you're going to say, but why is it necessary for that person to set the boundary?
Because they have the relationship. One is probably more receptive from that person. You're more comfortable with talking to that person. Right. And I think it would just be weird. And it could really like harm your relationship if your spouse is kind of like doing it, because then it's like they're putting those two people against each other, versus if it comes from you, hopefully when you're speaking, you're using language like we and not like they or him or her, but you're saying we feel or like for us, and so that person recognizes that you are a part of that union.
Let me jump in real quick. If you feel as though you cannot initiate this conversation, that may be an indication of the true status of your friendship. It may not be as healthy. It may not be as, I don't want to say as tight as you think it is, but a friend is someone who you can respectfully keep it real with. Furthermore, I mean, I'm kind of wired like this, and I think that everybody should think like me all the time. I'm just joking. But like, I feel like, and this is just me, if you my friend, like why do we even need to have this conversation? Like,
Because people, like, going back to before, people like create bonds with people.
That's true.
People create soul ties with people, and like people go through traumatic experiences with people.
They do.
And so it's like, while I agree with you, I think anybody can agree that, like, hey, you know,
it's too much.
You know, once this happens, that kind of like warrants a shift. I think that not everybody is clear in communicating that, which is something I was going to say. I think it's important that even before it gets to that point where your friend is overstepping the boundary, that you should have already had that conversation. Like, hey, this is where I see us going. This is what I notice about our relationship. What do you think about how we can keep our relationship intact while also respecting my relationship, like my future marriage? You know what I'm saying? And I think that your friend would appreciate that more versus it's like the proactive versus the reactive. Like being reactive and being like, girl, why you call me at 3 a.m.? Like, my husband's not happy about that. You know what I'm saying? Versus like, hey, like, you know, I'm noticing like this is happening. Like, I'm no longer available like that or in that way. And I think it's important to talk about with your spouse kind of like what those boundaries are. So like restating those boundaries, like, hey, listen.
That's good.
Yeah, because like some people don't care. Like some people don't mind, you know, you helping your friend. Like that's just okay with them. And in other cases, it may really bother your spouse. And so that's why it's important between you and your spouse to communicate with each other about like what you're comfortable with. And then from there, you can go and say to your friend. And I think it's important too that like when you talk to your friend, like it's not a negotiation. Like it's not like it is a conversation, but it's not a conversation.
That's a bar.
Like it's not a matter of like, what do you think about this? Like, I care about you. I care about your feelings. I love you very much. But this is the boundary. Like I'm communicating. This is how far this can go.
That's beautiful.
Because I think that sometimes people walk into conversations like that, and the friend is under the assumption, of course, because we're cool, that like
you never say.
Yeah, basically.
You don't.
And it's not any disrespect to your friend because you love your friend. Clearly, like you guys have been through thick and thin. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's important that they recognize the shift. And a real friend, and what I mean by real friend, like a true friend, will honor that.
Yes.
Because they would want the same in return.
How does one... Okay, so let's say just for you and I, just as an easy example for me to think about. You have a best friend. I have a best friend. And my best friend is getting in between us. And I don't see it as a problem. How do you bring that up to me that it's a problem? Did we talk about that last week or?
No. But we've had instances in our relationship on both sides where we felt. So I think like, so to say that, I'm saying like we know what it feels like. And I think it's important to acknowledge that just because someone like oversteps their boundary doesn't always mean they're doing it on purpose.
Exactly.
Like, and so don't just like attack your friend and be like, you did this. Like, they may not have known because again, they may have been so used to a certain situation or a certain like way that like they didn't think that it was anything different. And so I would say like I would just take you aside, especially like maybe it could be in that moment, like right after it happens. If it's not that if that time is not good, then another moment where we're both sober minded and just be like, hey, listen, like this offended me, or I felt this type of way about this. Like, I notice or I recognize that you guys are cool. I'm not trying to get in between that. Like, I want y'all to remain cool, but like, I'm not comfortable with this. So like, how do we come to a common ground? Again, not attacking your spouse, not how dare you. Now, if it's egregious, that's a little bit different. Like, I do think that you have...
still be respectful.
Oh, absolutely. But you have more of a stance to be like, hey, listen, like that was out of control.
Discomfort.
Versus like, if it just was something that, again, crosses a boundary that you guys maybe didn't recognize was a boundary, to just have that conversation with your spouse and just be like, hey, listen, like, how do we come to a common ground?
Yeah, I think that it's important for whoever is offended to initiate this dialogue. And you should be able to initiate this dialogue because a seed, a little acorn can grow into a big old tree, right? The small thing always festers and grows if you don't, handle it at the beginning stages of its growth. I would encourage you to be forthcoming about these types of conversations, man, because they very well may not see it as problematic.
Yeah.
It may, as Juanita mentioned, not be intentional.
Mm-hmm.
It may be being done haphazardly or ignorantly.
Mm-hmm.
And so it'd be to your advantage to initiate these types of conversations so that it doesn't grow into something unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
Because it ultimately is as simple as a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's say you guys are dating. Ain't nothing official. Ain't nobody got no ring or nothing like that. And there's an unwillingness to let go of that friendship. I'm not telling you it's a red flag, but I personally would be concerned about that. Yeah, especially, and I don't mean to make this like a gender war, but we talked about this a while ago. Contextually, the example that was used was different in regards to like trusting your spouse. We brought up the example of like spiritual trust and Juanita trusting me spiritually. I had to prove myself, right? You can go back and watch that episode. But this is one of the things in regards to like how a couple's trust can be broken or not strengthened if that person who has that tight bond with the friend won't let go of the friend. I want you to think about it like this. It's just a different stage of your friendship. It's just shifting. It's just changing. You still have love for that person. I'm sure you guys will still interact and, you know, have fun or whatever, stuff like that. But it's different now because you're committing your life to this person. Let's go to family. Let's go to family. Is this any different than friends?
It could be for some people because some people may not have friends that are as close as family. Sure. But I think that the bottom line is the same. I think that with your family, they've seen you, some of them seen you in diapers, like some of them have seen you crawling, you know what I'm saying? Some of them have grown up with you. And I think that boundaries are so important with family because families can sometimes only see you in that light, like as that little kid or that little girl or that little boy. And so when you start to kind of like branch out, like it's hard to like navigate that. And I was actually thinking about that the other day because I'm like, I'm a parent and I love my kid, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't know what that would feel like, you know, when my kid grows up and wants to like leave and has a spouse and they love that spouse and they're spending time with that spouse. And while I say right now, like, you know, whatever, like, because I want my kids to grow up. I have my husband, like, I'm good. There's still going to be a part of me that's sad because, you know, you've been with that person for X amount of years, you know. And so I think it's important to acknowledge that. But we're not acknowledging that to be like, okay, you could just do whatever you want. We're acknowledging that to be like, okay, now I can understand. Now I have empathy for you. I can understand why maybe you might feel this way, but it's still wrong. Or I can understand why you might feel this way, but this is still a boundary. Or I can understand, you know what I'm saying?
You're
like
talking to the parent or the,
like
the family.
Like you don't have to say to them, like, I understand you feel this way. I'm saying for yourself, like to help you kind of be like in sober mind, because some people can really go to like the left with like, how dare you, you don't never want to see me. Or the opposite of like, oh, that's just my family, like it's just them. And so it's like you have to have that middle ground, like that middle in between place where it's like, I can understand why you would feel this way, but we still need to have this tough conversation.
All right, now let's take it a step further. I guess with friends and with family. And I think we can kind of just mush them all together. We talked about like outside obligations, outside of the house, work, ministry, things like that. When that boundary you have, we mentioned having a conversation. We mentioned restating or resetting the boundary. What do we do when that boundary continually, perpetually gets crossed?
Yeah, I think that's a tough one. I think it's not a one size fit all. But I do think the idea of it is that, one, you communicate with your spouse, hey, this continues to happen. Or whether you're the person who's like connected to that person or not, like the conversation between the two of you need to be had. Hey, this is what's happening. This is what we're noticing. Then I think it goes to another conversation or another part of the conversation that says, do we need a different boundary? So like, for example, it could be like, I don't know, like, you know, your in-laws keep kissing the baby or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like do like maybe never letting them see the baby is extreme, right? But
the first time, right? Yeah.
But like having a stricter boundary. So I think it could be either that, or it can be if this is a person where you guys are feeling like, okay, life is kind of drawing us apart anyway, like maybe the boundary is just we're cutting off now. Like now we're creating more space, basically. And I think that's kind of like what it goes to, because I think that's why I'm like, it's situational, because depending on what they are doing, like if it's very detrimental or like unsafe or like whatever the case may be, like sometimes that's a hard, like we just have to separate, because like mentally, emotionally, physically, like we can't be in community.
Absolutely.
But if it's something more of just like,
it can be reconciled.
You're not willing to like do something different because it's so ingrained in your brain. It's like, now I'm just creating a little more space. You know what I'm saying?
I think that you have to be discerning the heart of the person and their intent behind what they're doing, whether or not it is a genuine mistake or if it's deliberate and intentional. I also at the very same time want to empower you couples to be firm with your boundaries, especially when it comes to you and your spouse. The Bible says what God has put together, let no man tear apart. It's pretty self-explanatory. And that goes with the children that you may be responsible for, or the work that the Lord has called you to. You never choose the family you came from or the friends that you came from over the friends and family that come from you. You always choose your house first. We mentioned the scriptures last week in regards to how serious it is to take care of what God has given you responsibility over. Yeah, you should go watch last week's episode. But I just want to, because I know that sometimes people have such a hard time with moving forward from friends and family, and
it's hard. I think it's okay.
No. It is. That's what I'm trying to. I'm trying to paint the picture and account for the fact that like people actually do have like genuine, like strong, have had long, lengthy histories of like faithfulness and good friendship. And it is. I'm not trying to say it like it's easy to let go. It won't be easy to let go. But I'm confident that none of us want to stand before God and have to give an account for not handling our responsibility at home. So I would say to do your best to try and reconcile. Do your best to try and reconcile. You should bring it to that person, especially if they are a believer. They should. I mean, Bob Clinton talks about this. Like, you should be able to go to them. You know. But if there's continually boundaries and lines being crossed, and especially when it becomes intentional, like, okay, let me not even go there. What you got to say? Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, yeah, I agree with you. I think that it's very important to acknowledge that it's not necessarily always easy. Some people you will feel like it's easier than others. But you will have those that maybe, whether it's closer to you or maybe there's been things that you guys have experienced together that can make it hard. But God can do anything. He can do all things. And nothing's impossible with him. And so I think when you find yourself in that situation, I think that's a good situation to submit unto him, to bring your feelings, your emotions. Hey, listen, I'm struggling with this. I'm having a hard time with this. Kind of help me navigate this, because he can give you the words, the courage to be able to move forward. And I think that it's also important not to assume you know how the other person is going to take it, or not to be so concerned either with how that person is going to take it. Because the point of the boundary is to honor you and to honor your relationship. And so it's not to dishonor that person either. It's to also honor them. But you can't be so consumed with what you think they're going to do or how they're going to respond that cripples you from having that conversation.
Let me also say too, another tactic that you can use to help make the boundary firm is that I don't want to say you cut off complete access to the person, but you do reserve intimate, not sexual intimacy, but like things that are secrets, those types of things, or something that you would typically share with your best friend. You maybe reserve those things for your spouse instead, and basically working the muscle of because ultimately of building the trust between your person, you and your person, because ultimately all of these things are going to be wedges in between you guys. So maybe strengthen that muscle of withholding sensitive, precious information that you would typically share,
or do it after. Like some things should just only be reserved for your spouse.
No, I respect that. Yeah,
but I think choosing your spouse first is that way of honoring your relationship, and then also still honoring like your friend.
Yes.
So like I think about both of us have friends that we trust, that we may share sensitive information with, but not before we share it with each other.
Absolutely.
And so I think that's like another way, because like to your point, there are some things that like my friends don't know.
Yeah.
Some things that your friends don't know.
And they should never know.
That we only know because it's us in this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which I think is very pertinent to make sure that you acknowledge that, because again, we've talked about it in previous episodes, like that friend, that grandmama, that sister, that cousin, that brother, like that uncle, like they may make it difficult to move forward or to reconcile if you are sharing sensitive information like that, because they're not in your union, right? You didn't say till death do you part with them.
Yeah.
They have no allegiance to that, to your spouse. You know, you do. You know, you're the one who said before God, hey, listen, it's the three of us, me, you, Holy Spirit. Like, and so I think it's important that you keep certain things to you and your spouse. But like what Jordan's saying, as far as like practicing and building that muscle of like,
running to each other.
Basically like, oh, I just got this promotion on my job.
Husband.
You know, and that could start when you guys become serious. It doesn't have to wait until like, you know, you guys get married, because that could be another way that you start to like show your friend like, hey, listen, this shift is coming, you know. So it's not just a ripping of a Band-Aid off. I think that's another thing that's important to acknowledge, is that sometimes people go straight to like, why don't you just get it? Especially if that person doesn't have a spouse. I think it's not okay to do that. And I think it's important to acknowledge that person would feel some type of way because you have been their person. And now you have your own person, and now you're no longer able to be who you've been to them. In that same way, like you're still friends, you guys still have a strong bond, but what you have done before, it just will look differently now. And so, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say quickly, don't rob your spouse from the opportunity to continue to become one with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And but it also mirrors your relationship with Christ, because if you're not going to Jesus first.
Oh my God. Yeah.
What?
That was just a sharp left turn.
Because I just felt it.
I was not expecting that.
It does. It mirrors your relationship with Christ.
Can you just say it one more time a little slower? Because I'm not sure. Because I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. Can you say it one more time just a little bit slower? Break it down. I just
said it mirrors your relationship with
What mirrors your relationship with Christ?
This flexing of the muscle, or this building, or this stretching, or whatever you call it, whatever you do with muscles, you know.
Building.
Thank you. Building muscles of like, when you have your relationship with Christ, he should be the first person you're going to with these things. He should be the person that you're seeking. He should be the one that you're bringing these types of cares and concerns to. You know what I'm saying? And so when you are using that muscle and you're saying to yourself, okay, first Christ and then my spouse, then it's easy to be like, okay, first my spouse and then my friend.
Right.
Or first my spouse and then my mama. Or first my spouse and then my boss. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a trickle effect. It's like, okay, first I got God first. I'm already submitted to him. And then it comes to my spouse, and then it comes to everybody else. But if you already don't have that thing in check, then this thing is definitely ain't gonna work.
Cut the camera off. Yo, we gotta close it. I can't say nothing after that. That was fire.
Okay.
Beautiful.
But yeah, I just felt it. So
no, it's I don't even. You can't preach after the preaching. That's like sacrilegious.
And then people just start preaching.
Right.
I can't preach after the preacher, but
proceeds to give 3 points and a close. Like, sir.
No, yeah, but long story short, get right with the Lord. Okay, have a relationship with Jesus first.
Don't you see how his relationship with us mirrors? Like, this was by design.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What you got to say for the people, man? What announcements we got?
Yeah. What announcements we got?
Yeah, you usually close out with.
Oh, sorry. Pregnancy
brain.
brain.
It's all good.
36 weeks, y'all.
How J3 doing? J3 all right in there?
J3 is great, guys. J3
beautiful.
Is
we got some sonogram pictures.
My jeans just be giving up.
I never thought that it was gonna be like Lord. You said my jeans be giving up. That's
be
crazy.
Like, nope, ain't even worth it. Nope.
We'll see in a few more weeks, but it does seem like J3 has my entire molecular structure.
J3 look just like J3 brothers.
Yeah.
We don't know, by the way. We don't know if it's a boy or a girl.
But our children have Juanita's complexion, though.
That don't matter, because they look just like you.
Mostly everybody that eyes need healing.
Because people don't know how to see. They just see color and they assume people look alike because they got the same color. That doesn't make sense. Their features are different. Not our babies. I'm saying people in general. Like,
oh, I agree with you.
Just because two people are dark skin don't mean they look alike. Like, that's weird.
That's true.
But anyway, so don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Okay, my birthday is coming up. It's in 2 days, and I'm turning 30. And for my birthday, I want 30 more subscribers.
Praise the Lord.
Okay,
we should have upped that number though. We should have said 30,000 subscribers. That would be wild if we woke up on your birthday 30,000 subscribers. That would be super wild. It happens all the time. If we woke up with 30,000 subscribers,
I ain't going to work. Like, just kidding. I'm gonna be at work.
That's right. Because I was about to say some of them be watching this. Okay. If this happens,
see, look, I done woke up the dreamer. I forgot. I woke up the vision.
I have the gift of faith. Okay, listen, I believe God. Don't got no other option. Yo, if we wake up with 30,000 subscribers, bro, that would be sick.
Yeah. Now my birthday's on Tuesday, so this is gonna drop tomorrow or on Monday. Sorry, at 7 p.m. Right. Eastern Standard Time, and then my birthday is the day after that. So, I would love to work on my birthday and see all these new subscribers, all these comments, all these shares. You know what I'm saying? Don't keep it to yourself. Share it with somebody.
Can y'all do that for my wife, NJ3? That would be beautiful. That would be crazy.
But yeah, so we are grateful that you guys have taken the time to watch us today.
Absolutely.
Go back, watch previous episodes, put in the comments, how you feel about what we're sharing. Do you feel like you're having a good time setting boundaries, having a hard time setting boundaries? Yeah. Share your questions with us, share your future topics with us. Like, we're here to serve you guys, so let us know what you want.
I want to say one more quick thing, because we actually just had a similar conversation about this like a few days ago. If your partner is bringing up an issue to you, do not jump on defense. Listen objectively, because this is, again, going to be a marker of the health of your relationship as you guys can navigate through tough times. That's all I wanted to say. My name is Jordan.
And I'm Juanita.
I covered my mic, but I'll do it one more time. My name is Jordan.
And I'm Juanita.
And this is Love Does Cost a Thing. We'll catch you next week, y'all. Peace.